What's up everybody, Kevin Barnett here for Carbide 3D. A couple of weeks ago, Winston Moy introduced you to our brand new MC Etcher diamond tip drag engraving bits. He showed you a few things you can do with them. They come in 90 and 120 degree varieties. Let's take it a step further. How many different things can you engrave? What can you work on? What patterns work best? What are the concerns with your artwork? Let's put MC Etcher to the test. We're about to drag engrave the world. Glass, acrylic, aluminum, anodized surfaces, dog tags, business cards, tools, ceramic tiles, glass tiles, glazed tiles, granite, corian, and more. The engraved toolpath is new to Carbide Create. We are going to put it to use. When you look at material selections, acrylic is one of my favorites. Make sure you engrave it from behind. Flip your image, engrave from behind. Do not engrave on the front. It doesn't look nearly as good. You don't get that shine. I love stuff that lights up. I put LEDs on everything. Once you learn to hide the strips in the frames, you'll really start to impress people. And you can do some cool things with switches and hiding where your plugs are, and you can really get into making what looks like a professionally lit item. Obviously, aluminum is one of those that can be really fun, and if you have it anodized, then you have an opportunity to take that color off of there and really make something unique. The anodized business cards you can buy on Amazon are terrific. Don't go for the cheapos. If you're getting 50 for like 12 bucks, that's not where you want to be. It's not even worth the effort to have those flimsy little cards. You want the heavier duty cards. You want these guys. Now this, you hand this to somebody and it's something unique, it's something special, it could be something very you. They are, what, a little over $1 each? So be selective about who you hand them to, but if you want to hand out something of quality, this is really the way to go. All right, let's not bury the lead. Talk about an opportunity here, MC Etcher and any aluminum surface. That's right, now you can engrave computers, you can engrave phones, you can engrave AirPod cases. Those are made of plastic, no problem. You're no longer limited by what the company will let you put on your items. You can definitely do not only art, but also put security markers on all of your stuff.
And I don't like nobody touching my stuff.
You want nervous time? Think about checking your file before you go and engrave your computer. You might want to try that once or twice on another surface just to be sure. It's a one-time shot. Granite, one you may not think of that you are able to engrave. The Mohs Scale, yeah, the Mohs Scale. A German mineralogist by the name of Friedrich Mohs invented the scale of relative mineral hardness and has become known as the Mohs Scale. We're going all the way back to 1812. No, not the war, just the year. Diamond a 10, granite just a 6.5. That means diamond is perfectly capable of scratching granite. We have a beautiful example here with the Viking tree design. This is a really fun material. You can barely even feel that engraving, even though it provides incredible contrast. Let's talk about ceramic and glass tiles for a moment. This is one of the most inexpensive ways you can experiment with the new drag bits. It's really cool because these tiles are below $1, on up to about $5. Not a single tile that I used was more than $3.50. A lot of them turned out pretty cool. Let's take a look at some of them here. So the Winterfell tile is the one that surprised me the most. The contrast that I got out of this ceramic tile was really nice and unexpected. You cannot really feel it. This is something you could put on a floor or you could put on a wall. You could do it as an individual piece of art just with a nice wood frame. And you're looking at under $20 by the time you are done putting this together for what is a unique, one-of-a-kind gift for someone or a feature for your house. Looking at glass tile, purely glass tile. Couple of issues with this, and that is that you're gonna see a light design at first. You're not gonna see a totally fleshed out design. The contrast really isn't there. However, if you're looking for a subtle effect, it is really nice. Under light, you'll see the reflection or the shadow on the back layer of the tile once it's in the top layer on the glass. And when you get it wet, the design all but disappears.
Whoa!
And it dries out, it comes right back. So that's a really interesting phenomenon you can play with. I would fill this design in a little bit more and see what happens with that. If I did an infill or I had a design that had a hardier set of lines, I think that might do better on a glass tile. How about something that is a glass tile but with glass tile look but with more color to it? This tile was $3.50. It is probably my favorite in terms of how the cross-hatching turned out, in terms of the contrast of it, the look of it, a backsplash or in a bathroom. You could even do a whole pattern of these if you just had a simple pattern, or if you wanted to put little pieces somewhere across your room. The possibilities are endless with this kind of tile. This one, just a glazed tile. This is nice because of the contrast. Really love the contrast on here. I didn't like the fill in quite as much in this particular design, and I would go back and tweak this design, get rid of the line and have a repeating pattern. Google Images is your friend. Get on Google, you can find sketches, you can find SVGs, you can find all kinds of different opportunities for you to take that art and make your own art off of it. I'm not suggesting you copy somebody's work, but you can take that and riff off, or take an element from one piece and add it into your personal artwork. You also have the option to send out a file on the internet to a service. They'll send you back a DXF or an SVG. An SVG will maintain its size, it will maintain its relative construction. You can then have some clean lines. The other thing you can do is go in and trace. So I had the Millennium Falcon. Of course, it's the Millennium Falcon. It's a design that I've been working on for a little while for my son with some art. And that design was pretty cool. I liked it a lot, but when you shrunk it down to fit on a piece of acrylic that wasn't huge, all of a sudden there are too many lines in the drawing. And what you begin to notice as you make the drawing bigger, you begin to notice the waviness of some of the lines. They're not clean. Let's take a look at the X-Wing fighter that I went ahead and engraved. So I had done a version of the X-Wing fighter on acrylic. It really didn't look great. It was wavy, it was weird. So I went in and used the mirror function in Adobe Illustrator. I went ahead and drew one side of it. So if you copy one side of it from the midpoint on, and you mirror it, anything you add to that side will appear on the other side, and it's totally symmetrical. Then you can go ahead and connect the two pieces. I've done this a few times where I've made one side, I've then copied it, flipped it, and connected them. I like the mirror for some situations. I would probably make my own in a few other situations. Again, with the art and the software flow, you're gonna have to mess with it. You're gonna have to find whatever works best for you. If you simplify your design, I think you're gonna get better results. Up to you. Again, size and detail have to be managed. Another example of managing details in a particular item is the Slate Coaster here. The Great Slate Coaster, the first time, had way too much little tiny artwork in it, had tiny little pieces that had come in the trace. So I went in and deleted about half of those particular items, and look what we got here. It came out really pretty. It still has the essence of the Great Slate Coaster. That font that I wanted is called Neon. It's from the Great Space Coaster, if you're of enough age to know this.
It's the Great Space Coaster. Get on board on the Great Space Coaster.
Great Slate Coaster turned out nice on the second try. A couple of other wins and losses throughout this process, and one of those was another piece of Corian. This thing turned out perfect. Really nice Celtic symbol. This is something you want to go for, a darker color, just like that granite. You can really see that contrast. This with a 120-degree bit. These boxes, I thought these would be kind of neat. I thought they would work out, but it really didn't happen that way because they don't have any support behind them. If you put a block inside, I think that might help, but for right now, this is a loss on material. I was gonna do a Zippo lighter, but you know what? I bought a lighter, I took it out, it doesn't even light, so nope. You're gonna have some wins, you're gonna have some losses, and we're gonna have some noise because you know what? They make machines here. Overall, here's what I'm telling you. Try things multiple times. Be prepared to do things multiple times. I went big with this one behind me. It does have these faults. I'll have to replace it. Just know that that might happen. You might have to make a second one. I've said before, if you make 3 of something, the third one will probably be perfect. Definitely don't expect the first one to be perfect. If you get to that, great, you're winning. But more or less, the second to third are where you're gonna find success. So get out there and explore some more materials. Get out there and explore 90 versus 120. Remember, 120 a little bit less aggressive. If you listen to Winston, which I do, you should use that one as kind of your general all-purpose. You're gonna use the 90 when things are a little bit harder. You need a little bit more of an aggressive edge to it. the 120 is going to serve you better for a lot of other opportunities. Definitely go and check out Winston's video. It has a wealth of detailed information. Get out there, drag and engrave some stuff, post it in our Carbide forums. The Carbide 3D forum is a great place to go for help, ideas, and just exchanging and being a part of our CNC community. Kevin Barnett signing out for now. More great content to come from Carbide 3D.